And we are back in line 7. For we have been consumed by your anger, and by your wrath we are terrified. And so it didn't give us this reference scripture. I just found this because I'm thinking about Moses and all the things that he went through, the trials and tribulations he went through, trying to bring them people from Egypt to the promised land. And so, and here it is, he's saying that for we have been consumed by your anger, and by your wrath we are terrified. Okay, and so what about consumed by the anger? So I found this in Numbers 21:4 that says when then they journeyed from Mount Hor, or probably Or, okay, Hor, Hor, by the way of the Red Sea, to go around the land of Edom, and the soul of the people became very discouraged on the way. The soul of the people. 5. And the people spoke against God and against Moses. Why have you brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? For there is no food and no water, and our soul loathes this worthless bread. Now, that is something. They started complaining against, they spoke against God, and they both spoke against Moses. And this is what happened. So the Lord sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and many of the people of Israel died. All right. So God wasn't playing. What he did, he consumed them. All right. So now that I didn't look up that one, but it gives us a reference scripture to Deuteronomy 8:15 on that one. So let me just see what that says right quick. 8:15. That says, who led you through the great and terrible wilderness, in which were fiery serpents and scorpions, and thirsty land where there was no water, who brought water for you out of the rock of flint. And so that just reminded him what God had done. He brought them, through all of that, and they still was complaining. And then so it also sends us to 1 Corinthians 10:9. I don't think I marked that one either, but we're going to go ahead and turn there at 10:9. That says, nor let us tempt Christ, as some of them also tempted and were destroyed by serpents. So that's true. That is true. Now let's go back to Psalm 90. Let's go back to Psalm 90. And so he's saying that, so for we have been consumed by your anger, and by your wrath we are terrified. Now that's only one example with the serpents. There are plenty of things that had happened to them. Line 8, you have set our iniquities before you, our secret sins in the light of your countenance. And so sends us to Psalm 50, line 21. That says, these things you have done, and I kept silent. You thought I was altogether like you, but I will reprove you and set them in order before your eyes. All right. And so, and then also Psalm 19:12, it sends us to. That says, who can understand his errors? Cleanse me from secret faults. All right, and so that's that one on that one. So let's go back to Psalm 90. So you have set our iniquities before you, our secret sins in the light of your countenance. So that means God knows. I mean, we can't hide anything from God. It doesn't matter how many lights are turned off. God can see through the dark. And not only can he see through the dark, he can see our hearts. He knows our through and through. There's nothing hidden from him. Everything is butt naked and open before God. And so in line 9 it says, for all our days have passed away in your wrath. We finish our years like a sigh. Just like that. And it didn't even take 3/4 of an hour for that. The days of our lives are 70 years, and if by reason of strength there are 80 years, yet their boast is only labor and sorrow. We just talked about that 70 years, that 70, you know, that's a given. And if by reason of strength there are 80 years, all right, 80, yet their boast is only labor and sorrow. And it's true. You know, I mean, they have, you know, when people get older and stuff like that, and age and stuff like that, it's like that's the sicker they become. And then then they have to end up in them nursing homes. But anyway, then it says in 11, oh, I'm already over. Okay, let's go ahead and in there, and then I'll figure out where we are. Next segment. I keep losing my way.